Good morning mga katribo. Welcome to another episode of Daily Tribune's Straight Talk, where we will discuss current issues that matter to Filipinos. I am Gigi Arcilla. We are live on Daily Tribune's Facebook page and Tribune Now on YouTube.
And I'm Chito, Lozada. Our guest today is Commissioner Yogi Filemon Ruiz, the Commissioner of the Bureau of Customs. And we are very appreciative of your presence as well.
Mga katribo, please welcome the Commissioner of the Bureau of Customs, Commissioner Yogi Filemon Ruiz. Good morning, Commissioner.
Good morning, Commissioner.
And it's an honor to have you here, and we are welcoming you to the Daily Tribune family because you had your maiden issue yesterday. So, maiden column.
Mayong buntag, Ma'am Gigi. Mayong buntag, Sir Chito. Thank you for having me here today.
So, to start off, Gigi, kasi there's a lot of questions about the new customs chief. Primarily about the reforms that are being instituted in the agency. Can we talk about the digitalization program? Because I believe that's the solution to the problem of corruption that
Siguro,
customs is
Chito,
usually
later
associated.
we were going to ask that one. Pero foremost, I read your maiden column, Commissioner.
Thank you so much,
And
ma'am.
the revelation was you were once an OFW.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you share a bit of the experiences you had when you were an overseas Filipino worker?
Thank you, Ma'am Gigi. I really para akong nag-reminisce ulit during my time when I was an OFW. And that was 1995 then. I was working in a Japanese company. So we were supposed to be, kami yung first batch supposed to be nung company na yun. We were supposed to be hired, and then the company should have had their factory here in the Philippines. But situation then, heavy competition between the Philippines and China. So in preparation for that, I and my team were brought to Japan to do some training. So yung time na yon, I was there. I was a young father then, so very much, alam mo yung pag mapalayo ka sa family. When I went there, during that time, wala pa yung cell phones were not so prevalent then. So it was more on airmail, yung sulat-sulat. So my relatives write to me stating that may mga gusto silang mga ipapabili sa akin. So I feel happy receiving those letters. So every time what I did, I every time I have a chance, I buy a balikbayan box.
Okay.
I dandahan ko yung bubuuhin. So with that, I go every weekend, pupunta kami ng mga malls, may mga maghanap kami ng mga sale. Dandahan naming bubuuhin yan. And then yung brother ko, yung kapatid ko, yung mga pinsan ko magpapadala ng ginugupit nila yung paa nila. Ginugupit
Para sa
nila,
sapatos.
papadala doon sa airmail. And with that, I go finding for mga magandang mabili ko para sa kanila. And then that's my I feel na yung memories ko that time na feel ko.
Sir, naabutan mo yung cassette tape.
Yes, ma'am.
Yung
Yes,
instead of
ma'am.
writing, i-record yung
Yes,
message.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. With those times, it was still, pag may gusto kang ligawan, bibili ka ng isang cassette tape. Tapos, you wait at the cassette recorder, mag-antay ka na sa FM kasi yun, ma'am. So you wait for the song that you want to record, naka-ready ka na dyan. It should be your fingers should be ready on the record. So reminiscing those times gives me good memories.
How many years ka commissioner sa Japan?
It was just 1 year. It was just 1 year, but it was my first time to go abroad. So, always it gives me satisfaction on saying that time I was more or less trying to make my way on my own.
As a,
So we understand the rationale of your column, where you vented out,
Yes, ma'am.
the plight of OFWs about those balikbayan boxes.
Yes, ma'am. And as I have said, it is not yung mga box na yun. Those are not hindi po yun one day in the making. It takes months. In my case, isang box bubuuhin ko yan in 2 to 3 months. So every time I go out, bibili ako ng mga dahan-dahan ko yung binubuo. And then pag napuno na siya, sir, sometimes feel mo pa parang overweight na siya. So alam mo yung the feeling when pag buo ka na po ng isang box, it is very satisfying. It is very satisfying. And then when you write the name, the address, you make an effort bringing it to the post office, and then here comes may mga businesses that are practicing these illegal acts. So I really feel for it.
Gaano kadami po yung how many boxes are we talking about here that were released to the consignees?
More or less, we are talking about the Bureau of Customs presently. We have released 4,500 plus balikbayan boxes. Yes,
Large
yes, ma'am.
balikbayan boxes.
Yes, ma'am. Different sizes, but may minimum size yan. Kasi they want also to maximize the
box
value. Yes, sir. The box and the value that they are paying, the amount that they are paying. So they want to maximize it.
So what were the reasons why the boxes were held or were not released?
Yes, ma'am. What we have found out, mayroong underlying cause dyan. First, let me explain. Itong balikbayan boxes na to, they must have a consolidator. This consolidator is located in the country where ROFWs are based. And they must have a partner here in the Philippines. Yun yung tinatawag na deconsolidator. So with this consolidator and deconsolidator, they have a partnership. So they have an agreement. Papadala ng consolidator sa Pilipinas, ang mag-deconsolidate nun, yung local partner nila dito. And then this business, they are the ones who process through customs the duties and taxes. But unfortunately, itong partner nila na andito sa host country do not send the money that is supposed to pay for the duties and taxes. The Bureau of Customs is more or less concerned with the duties and taxes, and then the contents that the boxes that might contain prohibited items. So with that, once it is already checked, no prohibited items, so it's cleared. But unfortunately, the duties and taxes have not been paid. That's where the dilemma comes in.
So how did you get around that problem?
Sir, what we did, because we forfeited it in favor of the government. So once forfeitedness in favor of the government, it is already for auction. What we did, we linked up with the Bidders Association in the Bureau of Customs and the door-to-door consolidators. So what we did, we implored for their corporate social responsibility na please distribute these boxes free of charge. Yun lang ang hingi namin sa Bureau of Customs, because it is very much, as I have said, yung isang box, hindi yan isang tao lang ang affected niyan. Families are affected with that, and the order of the president, he expressly ordered, gave me instructions to look after the welfare of our OFWs. Ganyan siya ka, he is very much, he feels for them so much.
Meron bang measures na i-implement ang BOC against these forwarders?
Yes, ma'am. What we are doing right now, we have done more or less 3 measures to address this one. First is that we have uploaded in our website, and also we have coordinated with the Department of Migrant Workers. We uploaded those companies that have been blacklisted by the BOC, and we also uploaded the steps that they should be doing. And the second is we penalize their consolidators here in the Philippines, the consolidators. Kasi yung mga andon sa host country, they are not registered in the Philippines. So we have no jurisdiction over them. So it should be the OFW concerned that should be filing a case against them. But what we have done, yung kaya namin gawin dito sa Pilipinas, we filed a case against them, and yun ang ginawa natin. And the third step is that we are creating a Balikbayan Box one-stop shop. So all concerns of our kababayan regarding Balikbayan Box, doon nila i-address. It will be answered as thoroughly as we can. Hindi na palipat-lipat pa ng iba pang offices.
So, that's no? Parang, ano na yan, set up na yan sa Bureau of Customs, yung one-stop shop.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is something that we are polishing it right now, but kababayans natin should understand that these things, especially creating new processes, takes time, but we are doing it as fast as we can so that everything will be polished na yung pag-implement natin. Wala na yung urong-sulong po tayo.
Pero one last question. Commissioner, kasi magpapasko, so ang daming inflow ng mga balikbayan boxes. Ano yung advice niyo sa mga OFW tsaka yung mga pamilya dito para ma-facilitate yung
Yes, sir. First of all,
release ng boxes?
First of all, what we do is we advise them to check the website, the BOC website, and then we also coordinated with DTI FTEB, the Enforcement Bureau. We also coordinated with them na i-upload na nila. We make this public. Dapat alam ng mga tao kung sino itong mga businesses na dapat nilang iwasan. So with that, we are in the first place, in-avoid na natin may mga mabiktima pa. And with the second thing that we have done right now, itong one-stop shop natin, all balikbayan boxes should go through an inventory process ng Bureau of Customs that alam na natin per box, so it is uploaded into a system na yung mga balikbayan boxes na concerned ng mga kababayan natin, they just check on our website, andun yung tracking na niya. It will automate the release and delivery ng balikbayan boxes natin.
Okay.
Sir, curious lang ako. When you were an OFW back sa Japan noon, na-experience nyo ba yung ganitong problema with your parcels sent to the Philippines?
During the time, no, ma'am, because the consolidator that we had in Japan then was doing good business practice. So we were also informed then, kasi meron kaming every weekend, meron kaming yung mga kapwa Pilipino meet up kami. So we share notes kung ano yung saan kami magpapadala. So we avoided those mga tinatawag na fly by night, yung sinasabi doon tayo magpapadala kasi mas mura.
Yan ba yung door to door?
Door to door, yan ang sinasabi natin sir na yes sir, door to door consolidators.
Lahat yun.
Merong mga fly by night sir. They are trying to impress doon sa mga kababayan natin na kaya nila mag-deliver at a lower cost, but nangyayari yung hindi natin gustong mangyayari. Hindi napapadala dito yung funds that is supposed to pay for the customs duties and taxes.
Mga ilan, how many forwarders are this?
We are
Na-
talking more or less around 4.
4 lang naman.
Yes, ma'am.
And mostly saan galing na bansa yung mga
It's-
na victimize?
It's more or less from the UAE.
Bakit UAE?
That's where these 4 businesses are located, sir. Oh.
Okay.
Okay. So naka-blacklisted na sila.
Yes, ma'am.
So the Filipinos, mga kababayans natin are already aware from yung mga nandun sa UAE.
Yes,
Are they
ma'am.
aware? So mape-prevent na
We-
because
we-
naka-red flag na.
That's what we are trying to do. It's better to prevent the boxes from being sent to the Philippines, and then here comes, hindi naman mababayaran, madidelay naman kay Bureau of Customs, sasabihin naman ng iba, andyan kay Bureau of Customs, hinuhold ni Bureau of Customs, but it is not the Bureau of Customs that is, we have no choice because the duties and taxes are not being paid. So, palaging ang binubugbog si Bureau
Yeah.
of Customs. So, I am just trying to, and thank you for the opportunity to, that you gave me, ma'am, to set the record straight.
Marami pala, oh.
So hindi
Isang
hindi
warehouse?
po Bureau of Customs ang
Sisisihin.
ang dapat sisihin. 4 po na forwarders yung naka-blacklist na sa ngayon because of this held balikbayan boxes.
Yes, ma'am.
Alright. So very interesting yung ating
Oo nga.
talakayan, Chito, with the
Thank you so much,
commissioner. So
Madi-dispose niyo ba before Christmas lahat yung mga boxes na na-hold?
That is our target, sir. That is our target. I am many of my colleagues in the BUC are saying I am setting such a tight schedule. But kaya nga may target tayo. We do this kasi if para sa BUC trabaho lang to, para sa mga kababayan natin, these are inaantay nila ito months pa. And we hope that
Special
we
occasion
could
pag ano.
just provide a little bit of kasayahan lang para ngayong Pasko.
So, tanungin natin mamaya si Commissioner. So, we'll go on break at marami pa po tayong tanong kay Commissioner Ruiz.
Sobrang marami.
Nasa kamay mo ang swerte, ngunit hindi ito isang laro na para lang sa'yo. Dahil bukod sa pag-asang maging milyonaryo, ang pagtangkilik mo sa loto at ipapang produkto ng PCSO ay nakakalikom ng pondo para sa mga programang pangkalusugan, tulong at serbisyong medikal at kawang-gawa.
Kasal, lahat ng minimithi makakamtan sa PCSO.
So, very interesting tong balikbayan box, especially Christmas. So, meron tayong phone-in question, Commissioner. Follow up doon sa ating balikbayan boxes. Is it legal to distribute balikbayan boxes that were forfeited in favor of the government to their proper recipients?
Yes, ma'am, it is legal because forfeited na siya in favor of the government, and then what the BOC does is to auction it. And then the winning bidder, he can dispose of it as he wants. Sa totoo lang, if the winning bidder wants to open the boxes and sell it,
They can
dispose it of in any way na gusto niya, he's legally bound to do so. He can do with it what he wants. But because ang ginawa natin, we got the support of the Bidders Association in the Bureau of Customs and the door-to-door consolidators. Sila mismo promised to have these boxes delivered. Kasi sir, when I told them about my story being an OFW, na yung box na pinapadala ko sa Pilipinas, yung na-mention ko sa inyo, Sir Chito, may special occasion yan. Andun yung mga relatives ko, andun yung buong pamilya. They are there. Andun sa sala, andun yung box sa gitna. Tapos dapat sabay-sabay, andun lahat para pagbukas, walang malamangan.
Yung mga pangalan.
May mga pangalan, ma'am. And then, walang mag-aagawan doon sa mga chocolates. So, if chocolates are there, it should be distributed evenly. So, ganun ang, when I told them about that story, they said, we will support you. This is something that we should be doing. And I told them, the President himself is very much concerned with this. He wants to take care of our OFW. So, and I appreciate the support of our Bidders Association, the Bureau of Customs, and the Door-to-Door Consolidators Association. They're doing a very much a good job.
So marami pong matutuwa ng mga OFWs because of this measure.
Yes, ma'am.
Wala nang
Yeah.
babayaran yung recipient.
Actually, sir, it is free of charge. Pag may naniningil po sa inyo, sabihin niyo po sa akin, you can contact our
Ayan.
BOC Cares at customs.gov.ph.
Sinabi ni Commissioner,
Report niyo po doon, and then we will, because sir, we could not discount may mga there are really some individuals that will try to take advantage of this. Pag may mga ganun po na mga situation na taking advantage of the situation that we are in now, just do
Kanino?
That-
Sa inyong office.
May
yes, sir.
hotline.
That is the BOC Cares at customs.gov.ph. Ako po yung andon mismo pagdating po ng message, I am the one that will read the message personally.
Siya yung admin mismo.
I am not the admin, ma'am, but I have a viewing of that
Messages.
that website.
Okay, so maraming matutuwa po na mga pamilya ng OFW sa
Lalo na ang
Pilipinas.
papasko.
So meron pong isa pang phone-in question before we proceed sa ating tanong tungkol sa collection target ng BOC. Parang naiintriga po ang ating phone-in caller. I am just intrigued by your name, Yogi. What's the origin of that name, considering we have a beauty queen, Yogi Dominguez, with that name?
Yes, ma'am. Again, thank you so much for the question. The Filemon, I know where it came from. My grandfather is Filemon, and Yogi, I don't know. Maybe for me, I ever since bata po ko, I always think of it as a typo error po yun, ma'am.
Typo.
Dapat,
Yes, ma'am.
dapat po anong
Dapat po kasi
Yogi.
instead of letter Y, ang gusto sana ng mama ko, letter P po.
P. Oh.
Pogi.
So,
Sabi ko na nga ba.
I am just
Pwede naman, Commissioner, court order to have it
yes, ma'am.
changed.
But it might be tedious. I'll just leave it as it is. But thank you so much for letting me clarify it, ma'am.
So, nandito po tayo. Actually, may phone-in question tayo, pero tungkol po to sa yung current performance ng BOC in terms of revenue collection.
Ay,
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Right now, our revenue collection, we based on the preliminary report of the Bureau of Customs, we posted a total collection of 776 billion pesos. That is from January to November 24, that is 18.6% or 122 billion pesos over the target for the period. So we can just imagine how many projects that the government can do with the surplus that the Bureau of Customs has collected. The 100 billion plus that we have collected
122
surplus can redound to more projects for the government, more classrooms na pwedeng ipapagawa, and it is a nice feeling to have.
Yung contribution sa ayuda sa mga
Yes, sir.
handicapped families.
We often, masipag po ang BOC sending PRs about, revenue collections and all. You always exceed the target yearly. So, what portion of the surplus collection goes to the reward program?
That's a very tricky question, ma'am, because we have the rewards. We have a certain fund for that. So the reward, it is based on a percentage of the value that was seized and then forfeited in favor of the government, and then the government was able to auction it. So may certain percentage po doon yung that will go for the reward.
Okay. So, hindi
siya
siya
fixed.
percentage doon sa collection.
No, ma'am, it is
Doon sa forfeiture.
Yes, ma'am, it is based on the amount that was seized, forfeited, and then auctioned, and then the proceeds may certain percentage po doon.
Okay. So what do the regional offices do with that reward? So they can do whatever they want? Is it
No, ma'am.
divided equally among
No, ma'am, it goes to the informant.
okay.
It goes to the informant. I am talking about that reward that goes to the informant because we have
yung mga smug, parang
yes, sir,
pumapasok
because
na illegal.
we have a reward program para po sa informants, to encourage informants to inform the Bureau of Customs that there are illegal activities being done here. So yun ang situation natin na that is what we are doing right now.
Okay, so malinaw. Kasi ako, iniisip ko, yung reward, it's an incentive to the regional agency that collected
Parang
the
iba
most.
For the record, si Bureau of Customs until now, hindi po kami nakaka-receive po ng reward. We are doing this based on what is mandated of us, kung anong trabaho po namin. So, ever since I joined the Bureau of Customs, I joined the Bureau of Customs 5 years ago until now. We are not there for the reward.
Yeah.
And we have not received any reward for it. Our own reward is the feeling good when you go home na nakakatulong ka.
Pero meron natang law na pag na-achieve nyo yung target,
Yes, sir.
may certain
Yes, sir, the attrition law.
attrition law.
Yes, sir, we have that.
Oo.
But
Hindi nyo pinapractice yun?
no, sir. We are practicing it, but regarding the rewards, let's
yes,
not go there.
So,
Kasi
sir,
baka sisingilin tayo ng mga taga-BOC and
Ng BIR naman.
yes, sir. Baka
Sa
sisingilin po tayo, wala po tayong maibigay.
so at least na-clarify nyo, sir, baka manonood yung ating mga kasamahan nyo sa BOC. And then,
Sana hindi sila nanood.
Sir, speaking of illegal and illicit goods, ano po yung performance ng BOC in terms of seizure of illegal items, illegal goods?
Yes, ma'am, I'm proud to say, because my background with the Bureau of Customs is in enforcement. I'm proud to say the Bureau of Customs, we have recorded a total of 635 seizures that is valued at 23 billion. That is more or less from January to November of this year. And then, that's very substantial, 23 billion pesos. If that fund goes into the syndicates, it can fund destabilization efforts.
Malaki, 23 billion.
Yes, sir.
Agricultural products mostly.
For agricultural products, sir, we have 96 seizures. Sa 96 seizures po na yun, that is from January to present, that it is valued more is about 1 billion plus. So, again, significant po yan. It can damage the local producers natin.
Ano tong mga agricultural products na seize ng BOC?
We have several agricultural products that are dominant. These are onions, carrots, garlic, and ito po yung mga prevalent po because araw-araw po ginagamit. Araw-araw Filipinos are fond of garlic and onions. So,
Tsaka mahal sa market.
Recently, sir,
and that's a good thing, sir. If mahal sa market, that is a good sign for the Bureau of Customs. If mahal sa market, then that goes to show walang
pumapasok.
supply,
Pumapasok.
walang smuggling.
Oo.
Kasi pag pag barato siya, pag mura siya, it is a sign that the market is being
Libre.
flooded. But I always we have a team that more or less monitors the prices in daily in the markets. Nakikita natin the prices right now are at an all-time high, and that is a sign, that is a good sign for the Bureau of Customs that there is no smuggling being done.
So, ayun pala. So, marami
Pero-
kasing umaangal, sir,
Pero
about,
that is
you
bad
know,
for,
high price of
for
onions.
housewives.
So, ibig sabihin, walang pumapasok na smuggled.
Yes, ma'am. And they have to understand that meron din po tayong local onions. So that is a good sign na pag mahal ang presyo, ang local producers natin ang nagbe-benefit nito. So let's support our local producers.
Yes. Tama, Commissioner. So, before I ask you about yung seizure nyo on illegal drugs, merong ubusin ko lang tong phone-in question, Commissioner. So, interesting daw yung first name mo. Are your parents fan of cartoon character Yogi Bear?
I don't want to associate my name with a cartoon character, ma'am. But I have really done my research. Again, Yogi could be a typo. Filemon is my grandfather. So let's leave it as it is. That it is a typo.
So, definitely, hindi fan ni Yogi Bear. And eto po, isi-segue ko tong phone-in question about your 17 years in government service. So, yung ID mo very visible. A while ago sabi mo nga, would you remove your ID? Pero nakita ng ating viewers na sa ID mo, Commissioner, public servant ang nakalagay. Why do you use public servant instead of, commissioner?
Because first and foremost, ma'am, I'm a public servant. And I am here to serve. And I get satisfaction in serving the community. Yan ang yes, sir.
How do you deal with the people approaching you na merong nire-request na favor?
Sir, we could not deny because there really will be some personalities that approach me, but we have to also analyze the request. If the request is valid and it needs my action, then by all means I will act on it, and I act on it decisively. Marami na tayong mga pinagpa-explain, marami na tayong mga employees na pinagkakasuhan because they have been remiss in doing their job. But if we analyze also that the favor that they're asking is more or less that might jeopardize the integrity of my office, then pagpasensyahan tayo. Ay bahala na magalit kayo sa akin, I don't care.
Merong mga ganyan so far since you assumed office.
May mga pailan-ilan, ma'am, but they know me. They know me. I am trying to entertain concerns. I keep an open door policy. But when it comes to putting my foot down, I do it. Sabi ko pa nga sa mga employees ng Bureau of Customs, I may be friendly, but I am firm. I may be strict, but I am fair.
Okay. Sige sir, balikan natin yung seized illegal drugs, lalo pa isang mainit na issue, ang illegal drugs. And recently, under the PBBM admin, malaki yung haul ng illegal drugs. So, on the part of the BOC, ilan po ang seizure ng bureau sa illegal drugs?
Yes, ma'am, and thank you for that question, for giving me the opportunity to relate to our viewers and listeners this morning, ma'am. The Bureau of Customs, we have recorded more or less 100 drug operations this year, which resulted to seizure of more than 11.9 billion pesos worth of illegal drugs. 29 personalities were arrested, and we turned them over to the Philippine Drug Enforcement Agency. And that is just for this year, from January up to date. So what the Bureau of Customs right now is doing, we are strengthening our border protection capability. So we have, dinala po natin, andyan na during all inspections, all cargos, kahit sa airport, andyan na si PIDEA. So we are collaborating on border protection efforts that I think it will redound to a more stable business, not only a more stable business climate, but a more stable bansa natin.
Speaking of illegal drugs, Commissioner, you have been the regional director of PIDEA sa 5 regions.
Yes, ma'am.
So, Calabarzon, among others, and ARM. Ano po how would you take on the leadership of the Bureau of Customs in line with the President's anti-drugs campaign?
Yes, ma'am. And then my background in government has always been with law enforcement. So I am not a lawyer. I am not an accountant. My expertise is in law enforcement. That's my God-given gift. I am good at finding people. So that's the thing that I am doing right now. I implement measures that improves the capability of the Bureau of Customs to interdict these contrabands. So while I was still with PIDEA, completely iba po yung working environment in PIDEA. PIDEA is more focused on anti-drug operations, day-to-day operations, go into the streets, they conduct drug raids. But in the Bureau of Customs, it's more focused on protecting the borders. And my experience while I was with PIDEA, dinala ko po dito sa Bureau of Customs, and I have seen there are certain areas na mas naging effective. And ang ginawa natin ngayon, what we have done in the Bureau of Customs, meron tayong to make our operations more transparent. All law enforcement officers natin na Bureau of Customs, including the examiners natin, we let them wear body-worn cameras. It is part, wala pong rason na sabihin nila, hindi po namin nadala yung body-worn camera namin. If that is the case, then that is a ground for an administrative case. We are very strict on that because it provides also protection for the Bureau of Customs, and it also gives that operation more or less makikita natin kung sino yung nagpapasaway during that that operation.
Sino po nagmo-monitor naman ng mga?
We have our Customs Operations Center. It is a center that all data goes into the nationwide, all collection districts collect data. It goes into that operation center. So on nagmo-monitor, then we have highly trained individuals monitoring those stations. So maganda po na project.
So, bagong policy po ito?
Yes, ma'am. Actually, namana ko po to sa from the previous commissioner. But it is good.
Okay. So, painit ng painit ang ating pinag-uusapan, ang ating kwentuhan with Commissioner Yogi. So, we'll be back after break at nandun na tayo sa magandang
Finale.
dalawang issue.
Yeah.
We're saving the best for last.
We'll
We'll be
be back.
back with our interview with Commissioner Yogi Ruiz.
Thank you so much.
Welcome ka dito sa SM. Come as you are. Mahilig ka man sa pabago-bago o sa paikot-ikot. Yung nag-a-adulting or parenting. Ikaw na kulot, white-haired, purple-haired, kayong magkaibigan na nagkaibigan. Buong barkada, yung gusto mo chill lang, or gawin yung feel mo lang. We know you're changing, so we're changing with you. Come on in, we're all in. At SM, you're always welcome here.
Hi, G. So we're back.
Yeah, we're
with,
back,
Commissioner
and actually,
Ruiz.
we're saving the best questions for last.
Thank you, ma'am.
So, Commissioner, meron po tayong phone-in question. Again, masyado masisipag ang ating mga ating callers.
Mga viewers.
Can you share in like siguro 3 to 4 sentences? Can you share how the president picked you for the BOC post? Especially nung bago pa lang yung pag-assume ni President Marcos, marami kaming naririnig, eto magko-customs, gano'n. And then all of a sudden, everyone was from within the customs yung kinuha niya to head the bureau.
How will I say it, ma'am? First of all, I never applied for the job. First of all, I never applied for the job, and then I applied for retention in my position, and then I got a call from the palace for me to present anti-smuggling initiatives, and I, being being an enforcer, I presented from a perspective of from the law enforcement's perspective. So I presented there numerous initiatives that we could do to improve the processes in the Bureau of Customs to stop smuggling. So again, ma'am, as I have said, I am not a lawyer. I just wanted to be retained in my position, but
But your report is impressive.
So-
Yes.
so regarding that,
You're here.
the important thing is I am here right now, and I want to prove to the people that I can do my job, and I want to show to the president that he is not wrong in picking me, in choosing me.
Eto po, sir. Medyo, Tagalog at hindi ko masyado maintindihan. I will try to read the... Sabi niyo po, walang dapat bayaran sa balikbayan boxes na na-auction at dineliver sa mga OFWs. Ito yung mga nabinbin. Paano kikita ang logistics company na nahalo sa auction?
Yes, ma'am. Regarding that, it is already their corporate social responsibility. That's part of them giving back to the community. Instead of them, when we appeal to them to bigyan natin to ng pansin, when we appeal to them, they said, yes, we will support the Bureau of Customs. We will make this a part of our corporate social responsibility. And we are thankful na nabigyan po nila tayo ng pagkakataon. Again, I would like to give my appreciation to the Association of Bidders in the Bureau of Customs, and then the Door-to-Door Consolidators Association. And it's a good thing na may nakikita tayong stakeholders natin that are still there, not for the money, not for the profit, but they are there to help and provide kasayahan sa mga kababayan natin.
Okay. So, eto na po. Dito na tayo sa ating question.
Kinakabahan ako.
Hindi naman, sir. Huwag kayong kabahan, Commissioner. So, fighting corruption at the BOC is a perennial problem since time immemorial. So, actually nga, kino-consider na it's one of the most corrupt government agencies. Lagi po nasa spotlight ang BOC. And then, yung mga previous commissioners po, they have set, very lofty goals, pero wala po nangyayari. I don't know, for some reason, pwedeng hindi good enough or yung iba nakain ng sistema. I mean, for reasons that, we don't know. So, ano po ang present na ginagawa ng administration ng BOC, ninyo, Commissioner, to rid the Bureau of the persistent problem? And how would you be different from the previous, heads of commissioners of BOC na naging failure?
I won't say na naging failure din po sila, ma'am. They have done their part also, and they have actually what I am doing right now have been laid, the groundwork for this have been laid down by my predecessors, Commissioner Le Peña, Commissioner Guerrero, laid down very good groundworks for the Bureau of Customs. And that is what I am doing right now. You do not need to be a scientist to fight corruption. What you just need to do is just go to where the front line is, look at the situation. And if makikita mo doon na ito yung dapat i-address. So what we are trying to do right now, we simplified things. We stop face-to-face transactions. So wala nang face-to-face transactions. In each collection district right now, we have a one-stop shop. We have what we call the Customer Care Center. Lahat ng mga bawal na pong pumasok brokers, importers, or anyone that has no official business in the Bureau of Customs. They just stay in those one-stop shops, in those customer care centers. With that, we are minimizing interaction with customs employee and then the importer. And with that, we have minimized corruption. And second is, we have also implemented measures right now, itong digitalization na ginagawa ni Bureau of Customs, na hopefully itong final leg of our digitalization will be realized and we can have funds for that. This is also a big step kasi pag digitalized na, nakikita na natin yung lahat ng process. Wala na po yung magsasubmit ng papel, dadalhin dito sa itong customs officer na to. From there, antayin ng pirmahan, dadalhin naman po dito sa isang customs officer na to. With this, they only need to submit one time and it is digital copy. But we still require them a hard copy for that, for our files, because we are required to retain hard copies for our post-clearance audit, because we do post-clearance audit also. But with this, the documents will be transmitted to the different offices digitally. So, mayroon na tayong tracking that will be done on the how long that document stayed in that specific office. So, if pinapatagal, tingnan natin anong rason, bakit nagtagal yan. And then, if their reason is not sufficient, then that is a ground to file a case. Hindi naman ako beginner sa Bureau of Customs na kaya nila kong lokohin. I've been there for 5 years already and I have been with enforcement for such a long time. Tinatawag nga ako dyan, I am one of the kung tawagin ka, ikaw ang one of the most hated persons in the Bureau of Customs because I'm in enforcement. At I don't care. This is one thing that sasabihin ko na right here and now. I don't care. I am here to implement the directives of the President. And I do not need to please anyone. I only need to please the President.
Pero ano yung final pay? Sabi mo, almost complete na.
Sir, with
And,
our...
recently, you said that ito yung pinaka-costly.
Sir, yes sir, this is now the implementation phase doon sa modernization program natin. This is the part where it involves, meron po tayong outlay dyan that involves procurement of equipments, applications, and systems, processes na kailangan nating babaguhin. But unfortunately, we are seeing a resolution to this in the coming months. Mayroon po kaming TRO for the implementation of that modernization program. But I can see right now along the horizon na ma-resolve na po natin ito. With this, once we implement this, the Bureau of Customs will be, I am proud to say, will be at par with other first world customs administrations.
So it's another TRO.
For the benefit ng ating mga viewers, ng mga ating mga katribo, off-cam, nabanggit mo, Commissioner, na the BOC has 155 processes. And then out of the 155, ilan na po yung na-implement?
115.
115. So may
115.
naiiwan na lang na 40, 45.
Yes, ma'am. But
40.
ito pong mga processes na to, yung sa 155 processes, the Bureau of Customs, tiningnan po natin kung ano yung mga specific processes, anong kaya nating i-digitalize, anong kaya nating i-streamline. So, na-identify natin itong 115 processes na to, kaya natin ito without touching on that part where may pending case. right now, itong remainder, ito na yung part na we are being restricted by that TRO. But with this, I am proud to say, I am in close coordination with our Solicitor General for this, para tulungan nila po kami sa Bureau of Customs. With this, again, give us time, pagbigyan niyo po kami, we will digitalize this. Kahit ano mga, the President himself was the one who told, I want the Bureau of Customs to digitalize and to streamline their operations. And if streamline po operations the Bureau of Customs, it will redound to faster importation, more efficient Bureau of Customs. If efficient si Bureau of Customs, it will generate more revenue for the government.
Ito bang TRO, Commissioner, is this one of the resistance ng mga, can you say na isa to sa mga resistance ng mga smugglers? You know,
I cannot say that, Mama. I don't want to touch on that. I don't, because may existing pa po na ngayon na, but I can say that this TRO is hampering the full implementation of the Bureau of Customs into going fully digital.
Meron po kayong na-mention, Commissioner, na meron na kayo na issuehan like several employees that were issued show cause orders. Ilan po itong mga employees na to? Ano po yung mga offenses? For what offenses ito pong mga show cause orders?
To clarify, ma'am, iba-iba po. It involves numerous infractions, numerous violations. But I do recall, mayroon na po tayong napag-imbestigahan. 492 personnel have been investigated by the Bureau of Customs. We have filed 9 administrative cases. And itong mga cases na to involves cases that are dismissible. So, yan, pasensyahan tayo. 6 personnel were reprimanded, 35 were relieved, and 374 personnel po natin, na-reshuffle po natin. We have to transfer them. Transferred to a station far from their homes. Yun ang
Hindi nagre-resign yun ba?
Will that solve?
for me, ma'am, it might produce an instant solution, but it is not a long-term solution. The long-term solution that the Bureau needs right now is the full digitalization. Ito yung makapag-solusyon ito. Kasi
Pero
lahat ng
TRO.
processes, yes sir, lahat ng processes po can be meron na po siyang audit. Meron na tayong makikita na po natin kung saan na yung process ngayon and what action is supposed to be done there. So hopefully, and I can see this being implemented in the coming months.
Okay.
Sino po nag-file ng TRO, yung previous operator? Ng
There was
systems?
a again, I could not delve into it, sir, but there was a bid, there was for procurement of a certain process. Itong bidder na to, actually, that company won, but that was already years back. That was 2015 yet. So you can just imagine, itong TRO na to was 2015. It napigilan yung growth ni Bureau of Customs from 2015 up to present.
So, Commissioner, siguro, this is my second to the last question. You mentioned na kaunti na lang ang naiwan na processes na kailangan i-digitize. And you said that kaya medyo nahuli, hindi because capital outlay.
Yes, ma'am.
You have, you need, a big amount of money for, for the equipment, for the for the software.
Yes, ma'am.
How much are we looking at dito po sa kakailanganin para ma-fully implement yung digitization ng
We are looking at about 5.5 billion pesos.
Oh, malaki din po pala,
Quite
no?
expensive.
Oo. So, kasi they need 9% na lang ang kulang eh. Pero this 9%
Yes,
cost is very costly. So, meron kayong, are you looking at, like 2-3 years for the full implementation of the digitization?
Yes, ma'am. Itong modernization program natin, ginawan po natin siya ng timeline. So with this, we see in the next 3 years the processes, the equipments that we will be procuring in the next 3 years. And then we can see in the Marcos administration, the Bureau of Customs will be fully digitalized. And that is one legacy na right now, habang iniisip ko lang para akong maluluha.
So, 2025 po, if that's 3
Yes,
years
ma'am.
from now. Okay.
Kaso may court case.
Hindi, sabi naman.
I still see hope in the horizon, sir. It's there. It's there, sir. But I don't want to delve on it kasi may existing na case po. But, rest
Sub
assured,
judice.
pagbigyan niyo po kami and hindi po namin ito papabayaan.
So, dapat I should have asked you this question, Commissioner. Ano yung naging challenges that confronted you? Kasi you used to be, with the law enforcement part of the BOC. Pero ngayon, kayo na yung at the helm of the BOC. Ano po yung naging challenges that confronted you?
There were numerous challenges, but the pinaka-challenge that I have seen is that there are some BOC employees right now na they could not really accept na ako po yung commissioner nila. And then it is something that I don't care. I am here to do a job and I will do my job to the best of my ability. I am not here to please anyone. Again, uulitin ko yan. I am only here to please the President, and the President is very serious in his advocacy to modernize the Bureau of Customs and to streamline our operations.
I guess, Gigi,
Oo.
maybe yung
Yeah.
signal about this.
So, last
program.
words na lang, Commissioner, to our fellow Filipinos at doon sa mga nag-aabang talaga ng mga pagbabago sa BOC.
Sana mas mahaba ng program.
Yes, sir. And thank you, Ma'am Gigi. Thank you, Sir Chito, for having me here. And I can say sa mga kababayan natin, please give the Bureau of Customs, your Bureau of Customs, the opportunity to serve you better through suportahan niyo po kami. Huwag niyo po kaming awayin, huwag niyo po kaming i-bash because everything that we are doing right now is for your advantage. And then I am relaying this message doon po sa mga would-be smugglers. Tigilan na po yung gusto ninyong gagawin. Kung iniisip niyo pa yan ngayon, please, tanggalin niyo yan sa pag-iisip ninyo. Stop smuggling, pay lawful revenues. Kasi pag nag-i-smuggle kayo, mahuhuli pa rin namin kayo. We are very good in doing that. Mahuhuli at mahuhuli namin kayo. Masasayang lang yung pera ninyo. Import legally. The funds that you pay to the Bureau of Customs will go down to the government, and it will be down to better service for all Filipinos.
Can you get that's 2,500 simultaneous viewers?
Yeah,
from-
we have 2,500 simultaneous viewers, mga empleyado ng customs at iba pang nanonood na OFWs. So meron ka ng mga fans, Commissioner, sa mga OFWs.
Hopefully, hindi nila ako awayin.
Okay. So much that we would want to still learn more about Commissioner Ruiz and his advocacies in the Bureau of Customs. We thank you so much.
Thank you so much,
for
Ma'am
gracing
Gigi.
us with your
Sir Chito,
presence.
thank you so much.
And,
Thank you to the Tribune family.
And
And you're part of
welcome to the Tribune
Thank you so
family.
much. Thank you. Thank you po. Thank you po.
So thank you mga katribu and
I'm Chito Lozada, and see you next week.
thank you and see you again for another episode on Tuesday next week.
Tuesday.
We would like to thank the following: Araneta, Pag-ibig, SM Supermall, Veteran, Divina Law Offices, ICTSI, Xlog, Globe, Kia, PLDT, Cherry, Tanawan, Prime Homes, RLC, Pure Gold, Meralco, and SM Retail.